I told you in yesterday's video that I was done with the Sephora videos. The Sephora savings event is done. And I am. But the next step, the natural progression here is I had a lot of new products that I tried during this time. And so now it's about rounding up the products, testing them thoroughly so that I can give you my final thoughts and everything. And there was a lot between what I received in PR and what I purchased. So today I'm doing like a second impressions of a lot of products because I filmed, it was like 26 products that just arrived at Sephora. And I felt like a lot of them I couldn't give their own moment to test alone. So that's what I'm going to do today. So come a little closer. Okay. And let's just put on a bunch of stuff on my face. So this is all products that I'm really excited about, but still just want to test more. The first product, I don't know that this is at Sephora yet. I know they were waiting until after the sale, but I picked this up from the Natasha Denona website. The Hygiene Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. So I just tried it as a simple highlight in the original video, but if you go on her website, there's a lot of different ways that she uses this. So I want to try it as a base to create a glowy base. Now, one way that I saw was she took a soft brush and literally just applied this all over the face with a little bit of concealer and blush. Another way that she applied it is she literally put Hygiene Skin Glass Primer on here on the surface and mixed it and kind of created an extra glowy base. I'm kind of scared to ruin the integrity of the product and put the serum straight on this. So I have a couple different ways I'm going to test it. First of all, I want to see how it sits on the skin as like an underpainting moment. And I do have my moisturizer and whatnot on underneath, because this will give me some hydration anyways. So first thing I'm going to do, I felt like this Half Magic brush would be perfect for applying this. So I'm just going to circle my brush. See, there's no fallout. And she made it look so luxurious. The way that she was just sliding the product on the skin. It doesn't look as smooth on me. I mean, I don't have poreless skin like those models. So I feel like I can see little glimmer particles. Yeah, normally with this light, you can kind of see the texture a little bit. It looks a little glittery. Let me try a second layer. It's interesting, you don't get any fallout. It's kind of glittery on the face alone. Let me try and do a concoction with this, which by the way, I love this. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to put it on the surface. That makes me nervous. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand. Just have like the tiniest dot. And then I'm going into this, really digging in. And then let's see. Use a little bit to dampen the brush. Screw it. Scientific purposes, because I wasn't pleased. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit. This feels so wrong to do this. I'm going to try and just keep it like on this side. And it's starting to peel up. I don't know if you can see that. It's starting to like peel up a little bit. I mean, this is definitely more true to what I was seeing on the demos. It's a little bit smoother, a little bit less glittery. Wow. Right? I do like it if you're going to do it in this way, to put the serum over top of it, but it definitely messed up the layer. But I'm just going to try and keep it on this half. Wow. So we'll do this as an underpainting moment because I do have a lot of other glimmery products, but this really amps it up. It gives Tin Man. In her original video, one of the demos, she just put a little bit of concealer on. I can't do that. It's too Tin Man. But this is very interesting. Oh my goodness. I actually like it a lot mixed with this, and it's definitely more hydrating mixed with that. I wonder if this will dry down because I don't know. It feels so wrong. But anyways, I've now tried it in this new way and we're going to see how makeup sits over top. But it's very Tin Man-y. We want to cover that. But. It says reduces pore visibility. I wouldn't say that. Increases skin hydration and moisturization. It does have that really hydrating feel. Anyways, that brings us to the next item. I picked up the wrong shade during the sale when you saw, so I couldn't try this. And my Sephora locally was out of stock of this, so I actually had a 20% off coupon at Ulta. So I'm going to return the Sephora shade, and I picked up my shade at Ulta. This is the ABH Beauty Balm, and my perfect shade, it looked like, was number 5. So this is a product, first time ever using this. Didn't even get to use it in any demos or hauls. I feel like it does pull lighter than how it looks. Now this is a skin tint, so it shouldn't give too much coverage. The packaging, it's giving deodorant. Okay, let's see. Oof. Oh, that's satisfying, right? Oh, I might be applying too much. Let me chill. This half magic brush is such a beautiful shape. Okay, sometimes with skin tints, they will sit on top of the skin. I'm not gonna lie, this is looking a little bit dry. Let's see, can it blend in good with a finger? Ooh, really smooth blend, feeling-wise with a finger, but it's a little streaky with my finger. Let's take a sponge. We're definitely experimenting a little bit here. I feel like this damp sponge is kind of pushing the product in, making it look a little bit more skin-like. Like the deodorant style packaging makes it really satisfying for application. Definitely am preferring the sponge to blend it in. The brush I felt like made it look a little bit dry. Definitely the sponge, I would say, is my favorite way of applying it. And for like touch-ups or areas that I want a little extra coverage, I like putting it directly on top of the stick because it's wide enough actually to cover most of the face. Now, I'm not loving the way that this is sitting on my skin. I don't know if you can see, but it's looking a little dry and it's looking like it's sitting a little on top of the skin. It does have a light coverage. You can see my freckles underneath. I think there's potential for me to like it after it's settled down, can become more one with the skin, but it's not sitting the smoothest on the skin. So I'm kind of about that. Obviously, it's very early to tell, but it looks dry on my skin. I feel like it also kind of wiped away what the Natasha Denona gave me. For concealer, I've used this like 3 or 4 times. I don't think I like it, but I refuse to believe that, so I'm still testing it. This is the Say Slip Tint Radiant All Over Concealer. This is a concealer that 110% needs to be set because without powder, this ages me. It sinks into fine lines that I didn't even know was there. I don't know how it works for you guys, but it really swims into my super fine lines. It's nice and thin feeling, which I like, but I do have to work it a little bit because I feel like if I don't really blend it, it kind of catches on to dry patches. Again, that I feel like isn't really there, like it makes it up. It blends out so easily. I don't know if you can tell, but it just doesn't look the smoothest on the under eyes. I like how thin it is. I like how easily it works out, but it also just doesn't set. So you need to make sure you set it with powder. Putting a little bit around the redness on my nose. I just feel like, I don't know, it looks a little textured on my under eyes when I use this. I don't think this is going to get rave reviews for me at the end of the day. But before I put any powder on, I do have a cream bronzer. I used this in my 26 products that just arrived at Sephora on half my face. Today I want to use it on my whole face. For the most part, I've been diving into the Too Faced cream bronzer sticks. I'm really liking those. So I felt like these could use some love. I'm starting off with Sweat. This one is a little bit more neutral. And I'm putting this along the outskirts. So this video is really just a second, third, whatever number impressions I'm on of these products. Still getting to know them, getting to test them in different ways. I do this a lot off camera, because a lot of people are like, your speed reviews, like how can you test so many products? I don't know, I just do. When, you know, if I do a review on a blush, pretty much everything besides the blush that I'm talking about is something that I'm testing in a different way. I just don't show it on camera. Here I am showing what I'm testing on camera for a video for my speed reviews. This swept shade is really beautiful and neutral. I kind of put it too high, so I look like I smudged some dirt on my face. It's not the best look, but these are quite sheer. They are easy to work out. They're along with the Glossier line with how easy to use they are. Your skin but better vibe. I'm going in with like the tiniest bit. Going in with like the tiniest bit of Dune. This is one, honestly, where I think it works better if you place it with a finger. This one will warm up the outskirts of the face, this color. But no, they work out really easily. I'm just going to take a little bit of my sponge. Well, the whole sponge. I can't just take a little bit, but there's a little bit of foundation on it, and I'm cleaning up the cheek area where it looks dirty. The Natasha Denona at this point is not detectable. It like soaked in really easily, given how Tin Man-y it looked. Okay, who's ready to throw down with some powder? I got asked specifically, what is the difference between the new Hourglass powder and the new Laura Mercier press powder? So we have two new supposedly ultra blurring powders. My first impression of this was it was very drying. My first impression of this was it was good, not great for the under eyes, not worth the money. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. I want to use the same method of application. So I'm going to start off with the Laura Mercier Translucent Press Setting Powder Ultra Blur in Translucent. Let's see if this is as dry today as it was on the first day that I used this. So I'm going to use my powder puff from Amazon. And I'm just going to press this on the under eyes. Now the Hourglass I didn't like on the under eyes. Didn't like this Laura Mercier on the under eyes either, but it really is the best way to tell the blurring ability of a powder. And get it on the forehead as well is a good way. Laura Mercier, nothing. I feel like it didn't do much on the blurring side at all, really. It looks a little dry here, and here is a great place to watch to see what a powder does blurring wise. It just looks a little bit drier and more thirsty. I'm still feeling that way about this powder. Let's see if the Hourglass is different. I'm using the Vanish Airbrush Press Powder in the shade Translucent. Okay, this Translucent is less translucent than the Laura Mercier. It adds a little bit more brightness and color. Which one do you prefer, Hourglass or Laura Mercier? I definitely prefer the Hourglass side. I think the Hourglass is a little bit more hydrating, because you can see right here it looks drier on the Laura Mercier side versus the Hourglass. But both are looking a little dry, and that's how I literally felt about both powders. They were a bit drying, but the Hourglass, less so. A lot of you guys were saying the Hourglass works better as a touch-up powder, which I do agree with. I think it's definitely better as a touch-up powder, but I don't want to pay $54 just for a touch-up powder. That's kind of where I'm at. It should be able to set down the makeup and blur just as it said in the description, which it does blur a little bit. It's looking a little bit more blurring than the Laura Mercier, but nonetheless, both of those powders are from brands that I love. Both of those brands have powders that I love. But these new press form powders that both of them launched are leaving a little something to be desired for me. Still, for eyeshadow, I'm doing the easiest cool-toned smoky eye. Too Faced just launched these mini Born This Way eyeshadow palettes. One is like warmer shades. I did a tutorial with that in my 26 products at Sephora video. So I'm going to do a tutorial with the Cold Smolder Nudes. This one really caught my eye. It's very, very cool toned. So I'm going to get started with this shade, and I'm just going to put it all over my eyelid to set it. You can see that Say concealer swimming everywhere. It's a little bit deeper than my skin tone, so I'm not bringing it all the way up. If you have a deeper complexion, go in with this shade. The eyeshadows in this palette are okay. These are nothing like to write home about. They get the job done. I don't love the shimmers in here. You can't use them with a brush. So I'm going to take the darkest shimmer. Have to use a finger because it's a little sticky. And you're going to have to be careful and just slowly work it out. It doesn't do the work for you. You definitely have to do the work. But I'm just placing this on the main lid area. And then I'm going to take a small, clean blending brush. You see, and it also doesn't sit as flattering on the eye. I don't love these palettes. Like I said, you can work with them, but I don't love them. I wouldn't recommend them really, unless they were like 50% off. But I'm blending the edges to soften them, just like this. You see, and you get a really smoky eye. That's super easy because when you blend the edges, it does slightly darken the crease. I'm going to take that same color on a very, very dense brush because this color is hard to pick up. And I'm just tracing it along the lash line on the lower eye. Like so. Do you see how that very subtly added some depth and a little bit of glitter? Honestly, it's kind of going on my waterline. Then I'm going to take a tiny pencil brush. This is a What's Up Beauty R101. I'm going into the darkest shade. I'll use the side of the brush and I'm pressing it on the upper lash line to act as a really soft eyeliner. Like so. And I'm just gonna blend it into the lid color. So that gives a really sultry, smoky eye that's very simple, very beginner friendly. Using the tip of my brush, and I'm keeping this right in the lashes. Don't go too low with this. This again is just to keep it really smoldery and smoky looking. Then with a super stiff brush, I really like this shade. The shade is so pretty all over the eyelid when you apply it with a finger. It's still a little difficult to get it onto a brush, but I'm just brightening up right here. That's going to be our super simple, smoky, smoldery eye. I don't have a new mascara to try, so I'm just going to pop one on off camera. I would say one of the main reasons I wanted to do this video was because I needed to test the Rephr Beauty powder blush, like on its own on both sides of my face, because I wasn't in love with this the first time I tried it. I thought it was too shimmery, but we're really going to see that today because it was difficult between everything that I have layered. I feel like Hope is the most popular shade, so I'm going to go with that today. It looks more peachy, I feel like, than the liquid version. No, I feel like this is a pink highlight. I'm nervous. I'm going to use this Rephr Beauty brush. I'm going to try this on its own, and then I'm going to try layering it over the Rephr Beauty liquid blush. So let's see. This is one where I feel like you have to keep it away from the front of the cheek because it will emphasize texture. Yeah, it is so shiny. Keep it away from the apple of the cheek and keep it more towards the temple. Especially if you're like me and you have texture in this area. I made the mistake first time using this, putting it too towards the front, and it wasn't very flattering. But now alone towards the back of my cheek, it is really pretty, but I still stand by porcelain skin, poreless skin. You will love this. It's such a pretty glow. Fellow textured skin girls, it's not the most flattering. I don't know if you can see it collecting right here. Should be able to see it, right? Not the most flattering, still very pretty, but this finish is prettier, I think, as a blush topper, so we're going to try it that way. So I'm going to use a touch of Hope. Make sure it fully matches. Using the Rephr Beauty liquid blush brush that they sent along with it. Never tried this brush. It does a nice job of moving the product on the cheek. These are a very good liquid blush formula. They aren't my #1 favorite. I feel like they just have a little bit more pigment than I prefer for a liquid blush, but they are very popular for a reason. Okay, so I have that thin base layer of Hope down. Now we're gonna go in with this over top. Can still see it collecting on the texture here, but this is so much better for me personally. So for textured skin, depending on what look you like, I recommend keeping it more towards the temple. And then also, it's just more flattering as a blush color. Go down with a liquid blush or even just a powder blush that's matte, and then layer a little bit of this over top, and that will give your face a little bit more dimension, but not in an unflattering way. Do I think these blushes are overrated because they were all over the place? A little bit. I felt like everybody who was beautiful with perfect skin would put it on and it looks stunning on them, but you know, not all of us have skin like that. So this is like on textured skin and it's still very, very pretty. So I like this product, but I couldn't just pop it on and go. It's more of a blush topper for me, but it's really, really pretty. Let's add a little extra layer of glow. I want to go back in with the Natasha Denona Hygiene so you can see how it looks after I put the serum in it. It really pushed the product in, but it seems like it's going to perform as normal. I'm going to use this Fenty Beauty Highlight Brush, and I just want to see if this works the same. Just going to press it on the skin. I have to say that this Natasha Denona highlight doesn't look as smooth as it does in her demos. It doesn't have that very smooth, even sheen. It's pretty when you step out. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's prettier when I step out. Do keep in mind I'm in front of crazy studio lights right now that you probably aren't going to be in front of. So I'm hyper picky. Okay, it looks pretty seamless actually. Let me try it with this Sigma E61 brush. I feel like this does better in pressing motions. Almost like a cream than it does in swiping. Okay, it has a pretty seamless, thin look on the cheek. It's not as smooth as I thought it was going to look. Like you can see a little bit of something. You see it's not super smooth, but guess what? My skin is not super smooth. So there is that. I'm liking this pushed into the skin. Get a little bit pushed right here, a little bit pushed in here. Is this a groundbreaking product for me? No. But it is pretty neat, and this glow is stunning. Okay, now definitely I feel like everything was more controlled. I got a better feel of all of the products for complexion. Let's finish off eyes. I actually have new products I haven't talked about at all on my channel. I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair lipstick at Bloomingdale's recently. They didn't have the lip liner or lip gloss when I went, so I stopped by Ulta today and I got the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner and collagen lip bath. So I've tried on the lipstick already, but let's try on the other two products. So here's Pillow Talk Fair. It looks more cool toned. Let's see. I love the lip cheats. Yeah, this definitely has more of almost like a purpley tone to it than original Pillow Talk. And I did do a side-by-side with Pillow Talk versus Pillow Talk Fair lipstick on my TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. I be going a little crazy with my overlining sometimes. Like, who does she think she is? At least I recognize it. Yeah, it's a little bit more purpley, but it still adds some depth. Very pretty for cooler tone. I felt like a lot of people always said that Pillow Talk was more warm on them. I feel like she took that advice and made Pillow Talk Fair more cool toned. And then let's try Pillow Talk Fair Collagen Lip Bath, which this is a formula from Charlotte Tilbury. I have a couple colors of, but I've never loved this lip gloss formula. But this color looked so pretty. I wanted it. It's like a milky pink. It's a little heart shape. Even though I didn't buy these from Sephora, I'll probably put it in my Sephora speed reviews. Oh, her lips are dry. Tell you, I've been on the struggle bus. My skin really is quite dry. I forgot in Miami. It's so light that it's kind of emphasizing my dry patches. Okay, color pretty though. My lips not so much, but you know what? We all don't have these perfectly filled lips. Still a little cold in some places. It's gonna happen. But the color itself of Pillow Talk Fair, it's more cool. It's more purpley, more mauvey. I quite like it a lot. And I quite like this makeup look a lot. Guys, I popped on a pair of lashes for the first time in a long time. I'm like, who is this girl? I used the Ardell Texturize in 576. They're a bit long on my eyes. I have smaller eyes. But, ooh, the look needed some lash. So here's the final look, by the way. I really love how it all pulled together. Overall, taking a look at my skin, I would say it looks dry. And I think that all started with the ABH Beauty Balm. I'm gonna have to really do a good exfoliation and mask and try that again. So still, this video wasn't enough to fully grasp that product. Everything else though looks super nice. I love the eyeshadow look. It was literally the easiest smoky eye tutorial, so I hope that helped you if you've been trying to master a smoky eye. I don't necessarily recommend those eyeshadow palettes unless they're on a deep discount, but they got the job done. The cheek, so glowy. I don't know that I'd normally go this glowy on the cheek with a glowy product on glowy product, but I really got some insight on that Rare Beauty. Away from this apple of the cheeks, more towards the temple, and it's best on my skin type with a matte blush, whether that be liquid or powder underneath. Definitely like a blush topper, which is disappointing. I was hoping they would take a little bit of shine away for textured skin girls, but Geo Pink highlights. And then Natasha Denona, I don't know that I'm sold on this product yet. I'm not quite there. I would be lying to you to tell you that I love it, because I don't. But the glow it gave on top was so pretty today. And if you've been wanting a cooler Pillow Talk, definitely look into Pillow Talk Fair, whether that be the liner, the gloss, or the lipstick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, these products will be featured in that major Sephora speed reviews after I continue testing everything. But this was just another step closer to gathering my thoughts on all of these products. I will have them all linked down below for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Tomorrow's video will not be Sephora related, I promise. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but we're not doing Sephora. It just happened to be that this is what I wanted to do today in terms of testing products towards that speed reviews. So I hope you guys have a good day. You know what? I want to show you actually. Today that I'm filming this I'm still going, huh? It's the last day of the Sephora sale. So I was naughty. This is a little mini Sephora haul for you. I couldn't help it because I actually went to Ulta, and you know how the Kohl's Sephora is right next to Ulta, or a lot of times they're in the same shopping center. Well, it is that way in my shopping center, and I was like, I need to go. I got the big bag, but it's only because I bought a big thing. I got a re-up of the Peace Out Acne Dots because that Drunk Elephant moisturizer that I bought broke me out like crazy, so I've been going through those dots, and I feel like they do help, but more than anything, they help me not poke and touch them and make them even worse, so they like work as a cover for me and my icky sticky fingers. So I had to get another one of these before the sale ended, which led me to wanting to pick up a NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in a new shade. I'm in this new stage of life where I am very pale. I used to not be, because remember, in my old life, I was a PE teacher. I was always outside. Then I moved to Miami. So this new stage of suburban adult life, I'm pale. So I had to get a new shade of one of my favorite foundations. So I got it in the shade Light 4. This is one of the best foundations, you guys. This was unexpected. I wanted to smell what's supposed to be a dupe of Baccarat from Sol de Janeiro. It's the 68. But then I saw this set and I had to have it because now I can test all of the fragrances. So I wish I had known about this set before I had purchased this one, but it's so good it's okay. So anyways, that's what I picked up at Sephora. And then I got those new items at Ulta, the ABH foundation, and then the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. Did you want to see what else I got at Ulta? I can't help it. I just want to talk makeup today. So besides like the Charlotte Tilbury Fair stuff and then the ABH foundation, I've been seeing this dang NYX Buttermelt bronzer everywhere. This shade looks darker than it looked in store. It looked like a good shade at store. Now I'm like, I'm gonna look like I put mud all over my face. And then e.l.f. launched this Power Grip Dewy Setting Mist. Let's try it. Oh, that mist! It might be a little too misty. I can feel it hitting my face. Too misty. I don't feel anything. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.